Action. Hey guys, welcome to this new video. I am Freya and this is Jackie from Australia. We both work for Emirates. So we're going to answer some frequently asked questions for you about how to join, what it's like in Dubai, what it's like to work for Emirates, etc. So when you're ready, Jackie.
Okay, first question, Freya. How do people join Emirates?
Right now it's different to when we joined. You have to apply online, do an online video, and then you go to an open day.
Correct.
How did you join?
I joined, just applied online. Then they sent an email back to me and they were like, oh, like come to the open day. Went to the open day, they had like 3 rounds of interviews. So the first one was just like you walked in and then you handed your resume in.
CV.
Yeah, a group thing. Did you do a group thing?
Yeah,
2 group things actually. And then they asked you to come in for a final interview, which is on a different day.
Yeah, and the thing with the CV now, they're asking for 1 year hospitality experience at least. So
Really?
yeah, customer service. So if you've got anything, like even if you just worked in a grocery shop for a year, like when you're at school, put that in because that's essential now.
Essential.
So what tips do you have for the open day?
Tips. Dress professionally, I'd say. Prepare like for group scenarios kind of thing. Like don't talk too much, but then don't like shy away from questions. I think
they
amount.
don't need to be too dominating. Like don't talk over people. Listen to what people have to say and be nice and smile. All the time.
Smile all the time. Seriously, they see that. Oh god. No.
What to wear? Yeah. So I had a knee-length black dress on. It covered my shoulders. It was very classic, kind of high-necked. But they kind of say to you to wear a knee-length skirt for the ladies with a white shirt. Have your hair up away from your face because that's how you're going to be at work. They want to see what you're going to look like at work. And I would say probably wear red lipstick as well because that's going to give them the idea.
Yeah, just any like colour kind of.
And have nice nails as well because they look at your nails.
Yeah. And then hair-wise, just push back.
Yeah.
In a bun or in a ponytail.
Yeah, exactly. If you can't do like a French roll or anything fancy, just put it in a bun. It's easy.
Yeah. Tips for final interview, how to prepare.
Tips for the final interview.
I just like prepared answers as if like for a normal interview, like questions that they would ask, kind of like, or what challenges have you faced, kind of things. I just like prepared it in the back of my mind, just so that I knew like how to answer them.
Yeah.
Just be prepared for questions. Just any like questions from your past jobs that they could answer. Like you said that because you were a manager at your last stuff, so like they probably will ask you more like leadership kind of questions. Whereas they asked me about like challenges that I faced in my past workplace. I think they asked me how I interacted with my colleagues and how we worked as a team in a challenging situation. Yeah. They asked us how I was culturally sensitive to like a customer that came in on I think I was working at a clothing store, how like I was culturally sensitive. Just type into Google, research behavioural questions, interview questions. Yeah. And a bunch will come up and just have short answers. Yeah. You know?
I think it's really important because I remember with my interview she asked exactly the same thing and you need to have a few answers prepared so you can come out with, you need to think, okay, what would I answer to if she said, how did you work in a team
Yeah, you don't want to be like I'm in an iron.
Yeah, and what challenges did you face with a difficult customer? How did you resolve the challenge? And obviously the cultural one as well. That's a big one because Emirates has over 100 nationalities.
Yeah.
So you're going to be working with people from different countries all the time. So they need to know that you're culturally sensitive and you can easily adapt to different cultures as well because obviously we fly everywhere and we deal with different people from everywhere. So because they do ask questions sometimes like, what do you like about, like why do you want to work for Emirates? And if you don't know anything about Emirates, you're like, you have no idea what to say pretty much. And also, I remember my interviewer, she asked me what I thought about Dubai and why I wanted to live in Dubai. And if you don't have an answer for that, like if you don't know anything about Dubai, you're going to kind of look like you're not prepared. So I would say, research about Dubai, about the company.
And also be prepared for nothing being given away by the assessor. No. They will not tell you like if you're doing a great job or anything. They're just going to be writing down.
Yeah. And for me, I mean, like I remember when I answered the question, I started feeling like, oh God, did what I say wrong. So
yeah, exactly.
Yeah. The other thing to be really conscious about is your photos as well. Their photos are the most important thing, because the assessor's just going to see you for that day. It's your photos that are going to be taken to different people in the company. So even if you made a great impression on your open day, you were really smiley, everything was nice, if your photo that you send in is not smiley, or you look kind of not as polished as you were on the open day, it's going to be not good for you.
Yeah, so pretty much just make sure that you like follow the instructions that they're saying, because I'm pretty sure they tell you to like wear like a white or a black shirt and like jeans or something.
Follow the instructions they give you, exactly.
Yeah.
Follow them to a T, and make sure that, you know, if they say with a smile, be with a smile. And the casual ones as well, I know a lot of people they don't get the job simply because they're wearing something inappropriate. If they're wearing something that's, you know, that's either too low in the neck, or they're showing their shoulders, or it's see-through or something like that, and that's not professional, and they don't want somebody with that image, I guess.
So just because they were quite clear on their instructions for me. I'm pretty sure they just said like a scoop neck kind of thing.
Yeah,
something to hide.
Yeah. Modest. So the next question that most people ask is, what's the training like? The training is intense. I mean, it's 7 weeks. For me, I arrived on the 25th of December, and the next day we were straight in training college. You know, and I came from New Zealand. It's like a 17-hour flight.
I had 2 days.
You had 2 days.
Before.
Yeah. So for me, it was straight into. Kind of doesn't matter where you're coming from. Sometimes you can be straight into training college. So you're going to be tired, you're going to be jet lagged, you're going to be kind of like, oh my god, I've just moved to this place and I've never even been here.
It's such a culture shock as well when you land here.
Yeah, especially if you're coming from the other side.
Yeah.
But the training, it's very intense. You're going to have a week of induction, which is where you do all your blood tests, medicals. It's just like an introduction to the company, so they're kind of talking about company, and you do all these kind of seminar things.
Exactly.
And then the second week is straight into your safety and emergency procedures. So that's your training that you're going to use all the time.
They teach you about the plane. Aircraft specific.
Exactly. So then that's the first 2 weeks.
2 weeks.
And then you move into your GMT, which is your general medical training.
Which is like a week.
Which is about a week. And then from there, security. And then
which is like 2 days.
Yeah,
security is
2 days. It's nothing. But you learn self-defense. It's quite a lot of fun.
That's pretty cool.
You do like restraining techniques, and you kind of like get each other on the ground.
Exactly. That's fun.
Yeah, and then the last week is service, which is what you're going to be doing the most.
Isn't that's 2 weeks as well?
I think service is 2 weeks.
2 weeks.
What was your favourite part
about training? I liked SCP the most.
Me too.
Just because I think it was the most interesting.
Yeah.
You learn about the planes that you wouldn't, if you're a passenger, you don't know anything about planes. But I learned a lot about planes.
Yeah. It's intense though, isn't it?
Oh, it's so intense.
And the book is like this.
Yeah, waking up at like, you have to wake up at 3 a.m.
Yeah.
But then you would have homework, go to bed by like probably 9 just to wake up at 3 again in the morning. Like, it was intense.
It's crazy, but it's a lot of fun. And that's where you have your batch as well. Your batch is like 14 people.
Yeah, I think I had like 15.
Yeah, 14 or 15 people, it just depends. So they're going to be kind of like your friends for their 7 weeks. So you become really good friends with them. It's
so nice.
It's nice. And everybody's in the same boat as well. So, you know, everybody's just moved there. So you don't really feel alone.
Next question. What's an average day at work like from beginning?
Okay. You have to be at work 2 hours before the flight starts. So that's your check-in time. So that's 2 hours before your actual flight. So you'll get to work, you obviously take the crew bus from your accommodation to work, and then you'll go through what's called an e-gate. You scan your ID and you go through, and then you check in. We have like machines and things like that to check in. And then you go to a briefing room, and in the briefing room you meet your whole team.
You go to the plane?
Yes.
Then you have to do all your settling, like you need to do your security checks and all of that. Make sure the plane's all good to go. Then boarding. People start boarding. You need to greet people, help them with their bags, all that stuff. Take off. After that, you do your settling in duties, so you're prepping for the service. So preparing the carts, the heating up the meals, all that stuff.
Say tomorrow I'm doing Moscow, so we're probably going to have one service because it's like a 5-hour flight. So you'll just usually do, if it's a flight like that, you'll just do one service, and then you'll do maybe a round of drinks or a couple of round of drinks depending on how much time you have.
Yeah.
So your main work is that service, which can be about 2.5 to 3 hours depending on how busy it is.
Yeah.
And then from then it's just answering call bells, taking out a round of drinks with some snacks. Your main work on a short haul flight is usually about 2 to 3 hours of service, and that's about it.
But then on a long haul flight, say like New Zealand, Australia,
We have
there's three services.
Yeah.
So that's a bit more tiring. And also I think the most tiring thing is just the breaks in between, because everyone's asleep probably.
Yeah.
So you just kind of have to find
things to do.
things to do.
Yeah. Once you finish, you're allowed to eat and you're allowed to sit and things like that. You don't have to be standing the whole time.
No.
You can sit in the galley and you can have a chat with the crew, or you can go into the flight deck and meet the pilots and talk to them.
What do you like most about the job?
Yeah, I really enjoy the days off, and there's a lot of freedom. You know, you can go away on your days off if you want to. You can, do other things. You can have other projects kind of going on that you want to do. Like I do this YouTube channel.
What do you like most about the job?
Yeah, the cheap
tickets.
flights. I mean, the job itself can be quite challenging. You're working crazy hours.
Odd hours.
You're working with different people all the time, so it can be quite mentally challenging. But you get a good benefit.
Please.
So
What do you like least? You're tired all the time, but it's worth it when you get to see so many cool places, meet new people, like very.
We went to Rome together, but the thing is, I mean, we went out the whole day and we got back and we were like, we're going to sleep for an hour.
Yeah.
I didn't sleep at all, and you have to fly
Did you not sleep?
No, nothing. and you have to
slept.
fly all through the night, and you're so tired, so that can be really tiring.
Crew accommodation. So what can we expect when
accommodation.
you land in Dubai?
Yeah, so crew accommodation, you can be put pretty much, we have a lot of crew accommodation. The biggest one at the moment now is Silicon. They have 5 buildings. Or even more.
Yeah.
They have a lot of buildings. So a lot of crew are in Silicon, which is quite nice because it's like a crew community. They have shops, cafes, things like that, and you all kind of live in the same place. Otherwise, there's a lot of different accommodations around the city. So it's just luck. You can't ask where to be put.
Yeah, they're just going to put you somewhere.
Depends where you get. For example, when I joined, I was in UP Tower, which is on the main roads in Dubai, and then that tower closed. And they moved us to Silicon Oasis.
Yeah. So when I joined, they moved me into Ubaydullah, which is Al Qusais, quite far out but closer to the airport, which makes travelling to work quite good. Then they closed that building down and they moved us just down the road. So it could vary.
Yeah.
You could.
Also, your accommodation is part of your package, so you don't pay for your accommodation, and they also pay for your power and gas, everything like that, so you don't have to worry about bills, water, and then you have crew accommodation to take you to work. So the next day or whenever you go to your induction, there'll be a crew bus that will take you to headquarters. And then the other times when you go to training college, there'll be a different bus that takes you to training college as well. So again, you don't have to worry about getting a taxi or getting around Dubai. Everything's sorted for you. And when you get to the airport as well, somebody will pick you up. So they have a man or a lady holding a sign with your name. They'll take you, they'll get all your paperwork, take you through customs, and then they'll take you to accommodation. And in your accommodation, you'll have, in your room, they'll put a big box and it'll have all your stuff in it. So you have pots and pans, cutlery, plates, you have a few snacks just to get you going, like cereal,
for the first few days.
milk, things like that. You have an ironing board. They don't give you an iron, so that's one of the first things you'll need because you're going to need to iron your uniform. And then you have bed sheets, towels, things like that. So you're kind of sorted once you get there.
Tickets. So what travel benefits do we actually get?
Travel benefits. So for us as crew, we have 2 options when we're flying. We get what's called an ID90, which works out to be about 10% of the ticket price. So it's very discounted, which means that you can travel with that, days off, holidays, whatever you want to do. So then your family, your immediate family, your mother, father, brother and sister, they get 2 of those tickets a year. The thing with these tickets, the same, the crew tickets and the family tickets, is that you're on a standby ticket. So it's not a confirmed ticket. So if there's not enough seats in the plane, you might not get on the flight. So then we have the other option, which is the 50% ticket, ID50. And that one is around 50% of the original price. So if you're buying, for example, a ticket and the seats are looking a bit full, you would probably buy that one. And your family can get unlimited of those in a year.
Fabulous.
They get 2 80/90s and however many 80/50s. And for your friends or for your distant relatives, they get what's called a special ticket. So you have 20 nominations a year. Either 20 or 25, we're not quite sure. Still learning. But you do that nomination at the beginning of the year and you can use 10 of those tickets. So if your friends want to travel, they can ask you and you can sort that out for them. And that's around 50% of the ticket price.
I have a question. Are they only on standby for that?
No, it's confirmed. Yeah.
Alright.
Yeah, cool. Confirmed. Anyway, special tickets are a little bit confusing, even for us. Like Jackie's been here a year,
I have no
and I've been
idea.
here 2 years, and still, we still have to ask each other because it's a bit of a matrix.
Yeah, exactly. You need clarification.
Yeah, exactly.
All the time. Can you travel on days off? Yeah, you
Yeah,
can.
you can. Yeah. But for your first 6 months, you're not allowed to actually travel on your days off. You're supposed to stay in Dubai.
Yeah.
Just Dubai, you finish your probation period.
Then after that, you're free.
You're free.
Free to go.
The only thing is, make sure you get back for your flight or you're in trouble.
Yeah. So ALT, annual leave ticket, a ticket that you get once a year to travel to your hometown.
You choose your annual leave ticket when you join, so you choose the destination. So it's usually your hometown. If not your hometown, it's somewhere maybe you have a parent. I don't know, it's up to you. And yeah, you get one of those a year. That's a free ticket. It's 100% free, and it's like a passenger ticket, so you'll never be removed from a flight. And you can also order a special meal, because usually I can't eat anything. And I go on a 17-hour flight and I starve.
Oh.
I know, my life is
Do you
really
bring
hard.
your own food though?
Yeah, but
If
it's
you're a
still
vegan,
hungry.
bring your own food.
So that's the annual leave ticket, so that's something to look forward to. And it's always on Emirates unless you fly to a destination, your hometown is a destination that's not on the Emirates route, and then they'll sort it out, so don't
It'll
worry.
kind of be like the closest one to it.
Yeah, so don't worry if you come from a place where Emirates doesn't fly to, you're always going to get sent home for free. It's guaranteed.
Bidding and swapping for flights.
Bidding and swapping.
How does it all work?
You get 5 bids a month. So you just kind of think about destinations you want to go to and you just put them down and it goes into a machine, and if you're lucky you get all of them. And you can also bid for days off. And then swapping, so once you get your roster, we get our roster on the 16th of every month. You look at what you have and you say, I don't want to go to London, I want to go somewhere else. But London's fine. But if you don't want to go to, say, London, you check with a friend maybe from London, or you just put it in. We have lots of Facebook groups for this kind of stuff, so you advertise it or you ask some of your colleagues, and then you go into the portal and you can send swaps.
There's a lot of legalities that it has to go through in terms of like rest before the flight.
Days off before and after, things like that, especially if you want to get home like us.
Language speakers.
We just speak English. What a laugh.
Okay.
We speak it really well.
Right?
We mastered the English. Okay, so how long are the layovers? Generally, most flights are about 24 hours. So anything that's shorter than, say, 12 hours.
The flight? Shorter than 12 hours? Yeah.
It's 24 hours, You have exceptions. I mean, some places, you'll have 48 hours. That'll be short flights. It's operational though. Those are kind of exceptions. But most flights you're going to have are 24 hours. However, if you do a long haul flight, like somewhere to the US or somewhere to Australia or New Zealand, it's going to be a bit longer. To Sydney, it's 42 now.
30 to 42, yeah. If you go Melbourne,
28.
Yeah.
But then Auckland's 57.
Yeah.
Just depends on the destination. If you want to know specific destinations, you can leave a comment and I'll tell you the length.
Well, let's talk about like turnarounds.
Yeah.
It's like how long do you stay
on the plane?
On ground, on the plane and stuff.
Yeah, because before I joined, I thought you got off the plane and hung out in the airport. I thought you went duty-free shopping. I was like, oh, that's all right. So with a turnaround, you do the flight, then you land, you stay on ground, the cleaners come aboard, they clean the plane, they leave, you do your security search, and then the passengers come back on and you leave again.
Yeah. Okay, what do you like most about Dubai since living here?
I like that it's always sunny. Like, you never really have a bad day here.
Yeah.
It doesn't rain much. I mean, it rains maybe twice a year. Yeah.
Not even that this year.
It
hasn't rained at all.
There's lots to do as well. I mean, there's lots of beaches, lots of beach clubs. I said in another one of my videos, I mentioned it, but you get a face card when you join Emirates, which means that you can go to a lot of beach clubs, you can get discounts in a lot of restaurants, a lot of bars. So you
makes living here better because the cost of living here is quite high. But when you have that.
And what do you like about Dubai?
What do I like about Dubai? I like how, actually, from the job, I like that we have days off in order to like
Yeah.
enjoy Dubai kind of thing, like go out with friends, brunches. Brunch like twice.
She's like, I do it all the
I
time.
love so many brunches.
If you don't know what a brunch is, brunch is pretty much like you have all you can eat, all you can drink. And you pay like, I don't know, 200 dirhams?
Yeah.
And
yeah,
it's a big
probably.
party in the day. So on
But
a
when
Friday.
you have the face card, you can get like discounts on that, which is amazing.
So yeah. But yeah, I think I've done it 3 times. She's done it twice, but
Still, it's fun. Each time it's fun. So yeah, it's about Dubai.
Yes, misconceptions about Dubai.
Okay.
So what did you think?
I thought that, because all of my friends and like family were like, oh, just make sure that like you're safe there and like you're covered up and all this stuff. You don't need to be like cautious about any of that.
No,
like,
it's a very safe city. Actually, yesterday I was running outside and I left my phone on the park bench, and literally an hour later it was still there. So
yeah. So it's
a
a very safe city.
Very safe city.
Yeah.
And in terms of being covered, the only place, I mean, public places like the mall, or if you're going out, I mean, obviously if you go to the mosque or something like that, you have to be covered.
Yeah.
But I would just say, yeah, like public places, just be mindful. Don't wear short skirts and scoopy tops. But
of course, yeah.
but you don't have to worry. You don't have to have your head covered or anything
No,
like that.
no.
Yeah.
Yeah. I usually have like one or the other covered.
Yeah.
And like if my shoulders are out, then I usually cover my
Like
knees.
actually,
But, like,
this is quite classic. Like we're
Yeah.
both wearing long skirts and
Yeah.
we have our shoulders out, and nobody would say.
no one would say anything.
Yeah.
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 It's very progressive.
Yeah. Also in the beach, you can go swimming in the beach in your bikini.
Yeah.
Just don't leave the beach and walk across the road in a bikini, because I did that once and a policeman told me off. He was like, meep meep. And I was like,
Yeah,
oh, I was
correct.
holding a surfboard and I was trying to kind of like do both, but my towel fell down and he saw me and it was like, I was like, I didn't mean to. I'm sorry. But if I stopped and pulled it up, my surfboard was going to fall. Yeah.
Yeah.
So just be careful. Don't make my mistakes.
Don't get into a Freya situation.
Yes. But yeah, apart from that, it's pretty chill, isn't it?
Yeah, it's very good.
Okay guys, thank you so much for watching this video, and thank you for Jackie for joining me. If you want to follow her on Instagram, what's your name?
@Jackie Lorena.
If you have any questions about applying for Emirates or just Emirates in general, feel free to leave a comment below and I'll answer your questions. Good luck on your applications if you're thinking about joining. And don't forget to like and subscribe, because I post
2 times a week.
Thanks guys, see you.
Bye.
Bye.